Man,
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the Gunnar Vibe. With me is Varun. As always, thanks Varun to join. Incredible scenes at the Emirates. Beautiful victory, I would say. Really well deserved by Arsenal. Um, what are your first thoughts?
first thoughts is first, congratulations to the 11 players and the substitutes on the pitch, and also to Arteta with the best player being out. Like he had to move around the team, but I think he got that right today. We have to give credit to Arteta because we criticize him for the team. Credit to the players and the team today. They did deserve the win. So
Yeah,
yeah,
agreed, 100%. Like
yeah.
really hardworking team. Performance was incredible. Uh, like you said, right from the start, or even before the start, we found out that Saka was not in the team. What did you think about the starting 11? Did you see there was a surprise in the change of formation or a change in the way
Yeah, I
Man
was surprised. The only thing that surprised me, I mean, Saka being out, I think Jesus was exceptional today in that wing. So I think that was spot on by Arteta. The only thing I was surprised was like Jorginho instead of Partey, but Jorginho, like, except for a couple of like back pass or a miss pass, he didn't make a mistake. So whether the team, like whoever the team was picked by Arteta, I think it was right. I mean, Raya gave us a little bit of jitters, but hey, it ended up 1-0. So we just have to, go with the flow. Yeah.
Let's talk about the first half. Obviously, with Saka being out, Gabriel, like you pointed out, being on the right hand side, it seemed like at the start, Arsenal took some time to get going.
Yeah.
Ake and I forget who had a chance where Rice cleared off the line. Uh, a little bit of nervousness probably creeping at the start of the game. What did you think about the start? How do you think overall the performance in the first half?
I think, yeah, apart from that one or two, one scare, I didn't see Haaland touch the ball. Kudos to our defenders, even in the first half and second half. So that I think I think Arteta was, maybe his strategy was first 25 minutes don't concede, right? Then City kind of start getting nervous because they rely on that first goal. I think he Arteta got it right today against Pep. He kept them at bay, and we actually had chances, and like we could have scored. So it was a very tight game. I knew it was either a 1-0. I think we predicted last time, right? It's either a 1-0 or a 2-1.
Mm.
One goal from like some opportunity. That's exactly what it turned out. So first half was exceptional. I think we defended very well, um, except for those Raya, like, a couple of confusions. But beyond that, I don't think we were impacted. Like City had one shot on goal, like for the whole 90 minutes. So that tells you like how good defensively we were today.
Yeah,
So yeah.
definitely. It was interesting that Haaland was taking to Saliba instead of Gabriel. In the previous games, he was more uh, to Gabriel, like get into the physical
Right.
fight there, but he didn't really get any purchase from Saliba at all. So, and he
Correct.
didn't change his tactics either. I saw
Correct.
Rico Lewis going to the front. I was expecting him to be more of the defensive midfield for ManCity, but I think Bernardo Silva is exceptional player. I would take
Yeah.
him any day to be an Arsenal player. But having said that, Arsenal made some modifications of their own. Like you pointed out, Jorginho played was one of the starters. Him and Rice played in midfield, and we saw Rice actually playing a little bit higher.
Six.
At
Yeah.
the,
Rice was, man, today he was exceptional.
yeah,
He was like literally picking balls from like City's pockets. That's why we paid top dollar. I feel like I think Rice was very important for the first half to keep it 0-0. And I think when Partey came in, he went even higher. So he was more comfortable. So, but some of those balls that he won and he distributed it to Martinelli, I think Martinelli changed it in the second half.
mm,
But
but
first half, Trossard was good too. I mean, he didn't get much of the ball because it was a battle in the midfield. But uh, But I think Arteta's tactics. The thing is, these two teams are so similar.
Mm,
That's why it's so tight, right? Like it's not like both the tactics are exactly the same. The player types are exactly the same. So it's like very hard to find like a gap, right? It's very like it's like a chess game.
mm.
So I'm glad Arteta could change the script today. So that was awesome. Yeah.
Let's talk about the second half. You pointed out Trossard for Martinelli, and you also pointed out that it was more of a midfield battle. What
Yeah.
did you think about Trossard's performance overall? Was it justified? Obviously, it was justified in hindsight that
Right.
Martinelli scored, but did you feel like we needed to change right away in the second half, or we like there was a difference in how Arteta thought Martinelli?
Yeah. I think yeah, like I think the the midfield couldn't like get much ball spread. Like they were kind of like going through Jesus most of the times, right, in the first half. So I mean, Trossard wasn't like super involved in the game, or he wasn't taking. He's not a guy like Martinelli who comes in the center and like takes the ball. Like like Martinelli has that capability. You saw in the second half. Trossard didn't do that much, and I think that was a good change. Like because Martinelli, right when he came, he was like a spark. Like he was creating chances, and even like Rice was kind of like having like long balls to Martinelli. So I think that change was good. I think Trossard probably just coming off of injury, he was not at his best. But again, like different types of players, Trossard and Martinelli, and we need these type of substitutions. So the only other thing I missed in the first half was that was a definite second yellow card for Kovacic, and he should have been sent off. So that is a shock. Like, I mean, literally, those two tackles were studs up, exactly the same. One got a yellow card, the second one didn't. No idea why. That
Yeah,
could have changed the game already. But that is a poor like piece of refereeing, to be honest.
yeah,
So,
yeah. If not a yellow card, I would have thought the first would have been a red card
could
outright.
have been a red direct actually. To be
Yeah,
yeah, to your
yeah.
point. Yeah, that was just that's the thing. VR is so inconsistent and they don't want to bias the game. Oh, like Arsenal, Man City, they don't want to make it 10 man. But that's not the point, right? Then what's the like anyone can take any tackles then. So that could have changed actually. That could have made game easier for us. But hey, in the end, we showed we didn't complain about it and we showed it in our game. So no worries. We can let go of that.
Yeah. I mean, it would have bitten us bad if we Man City had scored, but
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
said, Man City didn't have a lot of chances. They did have a lot of possession,
right,
even in the second half.
right.
But yeah, like you said, Martinelli coming in did give that spark. Like he is the kind of player who would attack the fullback and
Yeah.
was giving Kyle Walker a little bit of thinking to do rather than
Walker was actually running, so that's
yeah,
no,
yeah.
he took on Kyle Walker, like because Kyle Walker didn't have any threat in the first half, and whereas he was attacking the Arsenal line here, second half Kyle Walker had to do more defending, so attacking he was nullified in the attacking sense
Mhm.
by Martinelli, so that actually like using attack as your defense strategy, I think Martinelli was awesome. Even all the substitutions in the second half were perfect. Like Tomiyasu came in, he did great. Kai Havertz holding those two long balls. I think now we know why Arteta bought him. Like he kept the ball down in the corner. I just felt Gabriel Jesus deserved a goal today. He was amazing today. Like
Mhm.
we didn't miss Saka. Like I didn't even think about Saka in the
Yeah,
90 minutes.
yeah.
So that was thanks to Jesus because he was like amazing. Like he kept the ball. Guardiola was like, he was kind of like keeping him engaged and like this opening up the center. It was amazing. I mean, this was an amazing piece of performance by the team. I think these guys deserved it. And now we go into the break. And I don't know if you were watching it on Peacock or which channel, but the commentators were so biased that Man City didn't do well. That is not true, actually. Like, we were exceptional. Like, they don't give the due credit to Arsenal today. We kept Man City up at bay. If you
Mhm.
compare, like, I'm just looking at the stats. 49% possession to 51, right? This is probably the only time that it's a 50-50 split. XG was 0.41 to theirs 0.55. We had 12 shots on goal versus they only had 4 total shots. And then we had 2 shots on target, which one converted. The second one was also by Martinelli, which, Edison, but they only had 1 shot, which I think that's the shot that you talked about in the first half. They didn't have a kick of the ball. And fair play to Arsenal, but I don't know if you saw the whole game. City are sore losers, right? They started fighting like the officials, and like you saw, like it basically has rubbed them the wrong way. And all in all, I can summarize it in one sentence. Today I saw that Arsenal eclipsed City like in that trajectory. Like I could see like City slowly declining and Arsenal kind of going into the ascendancy. That is why I think we would have had a slow start, but I feel like this time we can last the distance. I'm positive.
Yeah. I mean, you still feel like there is at least a couple of gears
Right.
for this Arsenal squad. Of course, City didn't have Rodri. De Bruyne was missing. So for Arsenal, most of the squad, apart from Saka, was there. Like you said, we didn't even feel like Saka was missing because of the way Jesus played. However,
the way he controlled the ball, man, that was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Nketiah was decent. I feel like there is a level up that we can have. Like, just imagine if Saka is out and we have Jesus instead of Nketiah, if we have a better striker who can hold.
Yeah, if we have like an Evan Ferguson or like an Ivan Toney. I mean, even like, for example, look, Manchester United, like Rasmus Højlund, he's a great player. It's just that he's not in the best team at this point. Like a striker like that guy would be a really big menace. If we can get hold of some striker in January, I think the club should really look into it. Like if you're in top 2 positions for the last 2 seasons, why don't you fill the void, which can actually win you the league? So I hope they solve that crisis. I mean, it's not a crisis, but we could do much better, as you said. We could do so much better if we have one big striker.
Yeah. And I think when I counted, there are 24 players in the first team squad. So there is a potential one spot that we can look to cover. Most likely there will be either a wide winger or a striker. We shall see. But I do want to touch on the substitutions again. I think you mentioned about Martinelli. I feel the substitution for Tomiyasu was really, really important.
Yeah.
Because ManCity switched
Doku,
and then Foden came. And then I felt there was going to be a point where Zinchenko would be a little bit of in more pressure. In that case, Tomiyasu brings that, like last season, how he covered Mo Salah. Being a left footer and his right foot helped. And even for the goal, he was one of those.
He headed the ball to Havertz, which kind of cushioned it.
His run made the goal pretty much. I think we should give due credit to the players who came in. Also, good substitution, really good substitution by Arteta. I feel like we had really good bench. He used the bench well. But great goal, great victory for the Arsenal. Now there is a break, obviously, for the next 10 days or so. Arsenal will play a big game now against Chelsea next at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have been getting back to what I would have thought even at the start of the season, that they would be one of the teams who would be challenging, not for the title, but at least for top
4.
And they are getting into the groove. What do you feel about that game?
The good part is there is an international break, which kind of like takes the edge off their momentum, and it buys us more time to get like players and luckily England has said they won't be deploying Saka for the friendly, etc. So he'll get a little bit of rest that he needs. And I mean, as you said, Chelsea has slowly come back to form, which we could have avoided, if after our game, if they came back to form. Luckily, we have the break, so it takes the edge off, and we can start from scratch. And we are actually on a high, like now beating City.
Mm,
City have not lost 2 games on the bounce since 5, 6 years, so we handed them that defeat.
mm,
Um, it's gonna be a tough game again. Pochettino has always been. We have won games against Pochettino's sides, like at Tottenham, but he has a better squad in like versus how he had at Tottenham. So it's going to be a little tricky, but it's not impossible to beat them. If we be at our best, I think we can get the win at the bridge.
yeah. Let's hope all the players come back without any injuries. Hope
Yeah,
Saka gets the rest, and any of the players who's going to play international are not played too much.
right, right. No, I think this Man City win was due. The apprentice finally gets a win over his master. I think it was 7 years, 7 times. But Guardiola has not lost single game against us, so I think that was a due long time coming, and that's very satisfying today, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. And a point that you made before we joined, where it was around the 87th, 88th minute when
Yeah,
Arteta scored the last.
yeah. The last time we actually beat them here was 7 years ago, around like 2014 or 15, where Arteta played for us and Arteta scored the winner actually at 87th minute. A similar long range strike, I mean, that went straight in.
Mm,
So if that reminded me of that goal, and I think like Arteta would kind of cherish that as well. And it was good. It was good. Today we needed the 3 points before the break, and we gave Man City a little glimpse of, hey, this time we're not here to like you can just walk over us, right? We can defeat you as well. So mentally, I think this is a big win mentally more than the 3 points. Uh, Man City now have the back of the mind that okay, these guys are here to stay. So
mm,
super happy. So let's look forward to the next game.
yeah. I'll wrap it at that.
1-0 to the Arsenal.
1-0 to the Arsenal. And yeah, I mean, this is like the best weekend we could think of. Incredible game, a big game against the top side. Arsenal coming over 1-0, like you said. Looking forward to the next game against Chelsea. Until then, have a
Until
good day.
then, yeah, until then, please like, share, subscribe, share it with like as many people as possible. And if you want to come to this show, reach out to one of us. We will put our email in our description, and then we'll call more guests onto the show as well. So it's an open. We want to open Gunner vibe to more Arsenal fans. So if you're interested, please reach out.
That's
All right.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
Arun.
Thanks
Have
for
a great weekend, and come on, you Gunners.
morning, Gunners. Take
Yeah.
care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.